Inside Rangers Football is brought to you by Physicians Premier. Our conveniently located freestanding ERs are fully equipped and expertly staffed so you get the best care closest to home. At Physicians Premier, you'll find faster service, friendly doctors, and a comfortable level like no other. And Texas Regional Bank. Buying or building a home? We have construction and mortgage loans to help. For all your personal or business banking needs, Texas Regional Bank. The people you know. And Texas 46, a home-style hill country restaurant, has been in the Spring Branch community for over 30 years, where the focus is on a Lone Star favorite, slow-cooked barbecue. We can cater or host your next large event too. Welcome to Texas 46.
It was a wild finish, but ultimately Smithson Valley came up just short in the 2018 season opener this past Friday, 24-23 against Midland Lee. Welcome to Inside Rangers Football. I'm your host, Brant Freeman, along with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill, here to recap that game and look ahead to the Rangers Week 2 game coming up against Pflugerville-Hendrickson. But Coach, looking back at the game this past Friday, again, a tough way for it to end, but you played very hard down to the wire against a very quality opponent. What did you take away from your team's performance?
Well, it's just a big-time atmosphere. You know, for a first ball game of the year, sometimes that's not the case. But for a non-district game in August against that caliber of a team and really that kind of tense white-knuckle back-and-forth play, it was good for our players. I mean, a loss is never good. There's not anything you're trying to derive from that. But being in that tense game atmosphere, you know, helps our players, helps our coaches, helps our young guys who hadn't been there before, and it certainly wasn't lacking for drama.
Yeah, really tense throughout. It was a 3-0 game at halftime. You were down 10-3 going into the fourth quarter. Then the two offenses get things going, and yours in particular, you score all 3 of your touchdowns in the final 12 minutes. What did it take to get the offense going? Well,
I thought we ran the ball a little bit better. You know, first half we had a difficult time getting the running game going, made us a little one-dimensional, a little more than we'd like to be, and you know, we settled in, ran the ball better in the second half, put some things together in the passing game. And, you know, I think success breeds confidence, and then all next thing you know, we're in a little bit of a rhythm and we're moving the ball a little more steady. Certainly not as well as we should have, but and gave ourselves a chance to win. And so, you know, just a couple of play stretch there in the mid fourth quarter, and it got away from us almost, and then we put a mad dash on and came up just short.
There's so much talent up front for both teams on both the offensive and defensive lines. How do you feel that you held up in terms of winning the battle, the line of scrimmage?
Well, you know, we had our ups and downs, just like every other part of the game. You know, there were times when we had a difficult time blocking their front. Real athletic, highly thought of, highly regarded team, and particularly that part of their team. And then as the game went on, I felt like, you know, we got some things going, maybe kept their guys on the field a little bit longer, and then all of a sudden holes that weren't there were, protection that wasn't there was. And so, you know, that's how it's got to be if the game's not a mismatch, and clearly this one wasn't. So when you play good people, it's going to come down to just a play or two. And you got to put yourself in position to make those plays.
Last week I spoke with you about the fact there's so much turnover from one year to the next in Texas high school football, or high school football anywhere for that matter. And so there's a lot of the unknown going into the first game of the season, how the new guys are going to be incorporated into your football program. So what did you learn from about this year's team after the season opening game this past week?
Well, they've certainly got grit. You know, there were times when it wasn't going well, then there were times it was, then it wasn't, then it was, and you know, to fall behind and then fight back and give yourself a chance to win. I think now that didn't surprise me. I think I know the character of our guys, but I think it was a great learning experience. I think they began to realize that there's just not much that separates winning from losing, and you know, you've got to be, you can't be 6 inches to the right of where you're supposed to be. You've got to be right where you're supposed to be. You can't take your eyes off your key for a half a second because the speed of the game is so fast. And if they didn't already know that, they certainly have a better understanding of it now.
Again, the Rangers came up just short by the slimmest of margins this past Friday against Midland Lee, but they also came up with some big plays. With that, Let's take a look at this week's Plays of the Week.
First big play of the week is an offensive play. It's one of our early in the ball game plays. It starts out as a sweep play to the right. You can see the ball handed off to Mark Franco. The play's intended to go to the right. You can see all of our blockers trying to give him some room off to the right side. As the play unfolds, though, you can see Midland Lee's defense doing a great job of pursuing, and Mark doing a nice job with his eyes of recognizing that, and then he cuts it all the way back out the back side. Picks up a block from Levi Williams, which you don't ever see the quarterback blocking, but reverses his field, rips off about a 25-yard gain and gets us down, sets us up near midfield. Here's a better look at it maybe from the rear. Once again, the ball's handed off. You can see the pursuit of the Lee defense going to the left. Mark coming out the back door gets one block from Logan Smith, our left tackle, and then another from Levi Williams, our quarterback, and then he's out the gate to the backside. Not necessarily a design play, but a well-executed play. Our next big play is a defensive play. They're circled in the middle. You have two of our defensive tackles. Nearest us is Will Gibbons, and on the other side, up top of the circle, is Trey Witcher. They're going to work a game that's going to result in a sack for Trey Witcher. By that, I mean you can see Will Gibbons going from right to left, taking out both the center and the right guard, drawing their blocks, and now no one's left to block Trey Witcher, who has a straight line to the quarterback. Real athletic move. He's actually called down for a sack. Well-executed game there set up by Will and executed by Trey. See it here from the rear. As the play unfolds, you can see there's Trey on the left. He's initially drawn the center's block, but now Will goes into the center, takes him out, creates a running lane for Trey, big hole in the middle, straight line to the quarterback, and he's athletic enough to make that play. Stop the drive, big play for us on defense. Late in the ball game, we're trailing by 7. We gave ourselves a chance to win by recovering a bloop kickoff. That's Mason Reed, a senior kicker. He's on the right hash, but you can see he's going to kick the ball all the way across the field. The ball hangs up in the wind and then hits the ground before the returner can get there. The ball's on the ground. We got a number of players around it, and in the swarm, Mason Livingston, 34, one of our junior safeties who plays on our kickoff coverage team, comes down with the ball, and we go down and score a few plays later right at the end of the game. Here's a good look at it from the rear. You can pretend you're on the kickoff team. You can see the vacant hole over there on the far left of the screen where the arrow's indicated, and Mason just drops it right into that hole. A bunch of players run into the spot. Obviously, it was communicated that's where the kick was going to go. A lot of players heading that way. Ball hits the ground. There it is. And then Mason jumps on top of it, gives us the ball, gives us an opportunity to go down and tie the game. And those are our plays of the week.
And Coach, looking forward to more big plays coming up this week against Pflugerville-Hendrickson. A game we'll preview coming up in just a bit here at Inside Rangers Football. But coming up next is this week's Senior Moments. All that and more coming up as Inside Rangers Football continues in just a moment.
Come on in.
Hey, Coach. I'm here to try out for the Rangers mascot. I mean, what's better than the guy who Smithson Valley was named after?
Don't you mean Benjamin Smithson? You're Benjamin Franklin.
Smithson? Oh, that makes sense.
He was instrumental in founding this area in 1856. He was one of the first Rangers.
The first Ranger. What position did he play for you, Coach?
He was a Texas Ranger, a Western lawman.
I get it now. I like where this is headed. Be right back. Hey, Coach. How about another perfectly executed shameless plug while I'm gone?
If you need video production work, there's no finer organization than WIC Productions. It's who we trust for Rangers Network and game night scoreboard production at Ranger Stadium.
Well...
Oh, you nailed it!
Rangers we will be!
WIC Productions. Watching a video is just better than reading stuff.
Since I've had GVTC installed in my office, I've been able to get a lot more done. With fiber speeds up to 1 gig a second, I can turn in all my schoolwork on time, keep up on social media, and watch game film with no interruptions.
Whoa, we haven't even played that game yet.
Yeah, it's that fast.
Enjoy uninterrupted entertainment with your favorite apps. through our professionally installed GVTC Wi-Fi home network. Log on to gvtc.com to sign up today.
Chicken Express is the place for legendary chicken tenders, the freshest sides, and the best sweet tea in Texas, Chicken E Sweet Tea. Let's give a big thank you to the Brown family for supporting all the high schools in the area for over a decade. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express.
We've got spirit. Yeah, we do. Fill up your tank and support the Rangers, too. When you get gas, look for the Rangers Spirit Pump because Pit Stop and Fishers are donating a percentage of sales from that pump to the Smithson Valley Athletic Booster to support our student athletes. Get gas here and fill up the Booster Club's bank. Here's where you can find your spirit pumps. When you see it, pull up and fill up, Rangers.
Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Coming up in just a bit, we have a preview of the Rangers' Thursday night game against Pflugerville-Hendrickson. But right now, it is time for this week's Senior Moments. With that, listen in to our very own Emily Wick. Emily?
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. Joey, Nate, and Christian, I'm so glad you're here today. If you would do me a favor and get your phones out, text your mom, tell her hi. So Joey, what is your favorite bedtime book that your mom used to read you?
Probably Curious George.
Curious George, that's a good one. What was your favorite thing about that silly monkey?
I had him as like a pet animal, so like, I don't know, I always liked it.
He's pretty mischievous, yeah, he's pretty funny. So Joey, what's worse for you? Going to the doctor or going to the dentist?
Probably the doctor.
The doctor. Why is the doctor worse than the dentist?
Because, I don't know, I don't really care about people messing my teeth with shots or...
It's the shots that scare you off. You do get a sticker if you're good, though.
I mean... Not good? I mean, shots suck, though. I mean, it's like stings. I don't like the way it feels.
Yeah, shots aren't any fun. Joey, if you had to go without fast food or television, which would you choose?
Television.
Television? You could give up television easier than fast food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Probably some Mexican restaurant. I don't really have a favorite one.
Just Mexican food, that's the thing. Yeah, I like that too. Chips and salsa. So Nate, there are lots of little Rangers that look up to y'all. What would you tell a little Ranger about how to become a talented varsity football player when they get up here?
I'd say just keep your goals right and just do as much as you can to get better.
Yeah, working hard? Yeah, that's good. Christian, do you have a brother or sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Which?
I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Oh, you have both. What do they do that drives you the absolute battiest?
I guess, I don't know, whenever they like, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I can't.
You got nothing? They drive you crazy doing anything? Well, then they're good. I could have a whole list of things if my little brother drives me crazy still. Christian, what is the favorite thing you do to spend time with your mom?
I'm with her every day.
You're with her every day. What do y'all like to do together? Watch movies?
Yeah, I guess just hang out and watch movies.
Just hang out and watch movies. You like to spend time with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, well, that's good. Christian, what is your ideal day? If you could map out a perfect day, what would that look like?
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Football?
Yeah, football.
Over and over again. Yeah, what's been your favorite game so far?
Like last season?
Yeah.
Probably the Judson game.
The Judson game was pretty intense. That was a good game. Yep. So Christian, what is your goal this year for this football season?
Well, I mean, my goal is just to do the best I can for whatever this team needs. Just hopefully we all can like achieve our goal at the end of the season.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Winning.
Yeah. Okay, do any of y'all have a special talent?
I think Nate can sing.
I can't sing.
Nate.
No,
Nate
I actually can't sing.
Can he sing?
No, I actually can't. No, I did not tell you that.
Nate, will you sing for me?
I promise you I can't sing.
Can I just be the judge of that?
I can't sing. No, you can sing. You're in choir.
I could not sing. You were in choir.
Joey, were you in choir?
I was in choir.
I was not in
You
choir.
were in choir?
He was in choir.
We were both in choir.
They were both in choir.
We actually all
So y'all were all in choir and y'all are telling me you can't sing.
This was back in 7th.
Weren't you the...
I was in it for the field trip. We went to Dallas.
So you signed up for choir just for the field trip. Where'd y'all go?
We went to Six Flags.
Well, that's a pretty good field trip. So Nate, it's Friday night. Your mom and dad are in the stand. Who's yelling the loudest?
Probably my mom, just because she's just a higher pitched voice and she's always screaming. So. She's always screaming.
What would she be yelling?
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers?
Yeah,
Just going crazy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I guess she's probably your biggest fan.
Yeah, she probably is.
Yeah. So I have a joke for you guys. What did the farmer think of the cow that had no milk? An utter failure. Utter failure. That's so good. So I've got a little Ranger trivia for y'all. And whoever wins gets a prize. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who holds the Rangers single season rushing yards record with Coach Shen, who said it first? Nate, that's a good one. Do you know how many yards?
No.
You ready? 2,348 yards. It's pretty intense. Go Coach Shen. All right, guys, you look the part. I do need a song.
All right. I think we're going to sing Neon Moon.
All right, let's hear it. 3, 2, 1.
When the sun goes down on my side of town, that lonesome feeling comes to my door, and the whole world turns blue, blue.
Blue. That's great. Coach Brant, back to you.
Go, go Rangers.
So, Coach, what did you think of your team's rendition of Neon Moon?
Those three boys better stick to football, and Emily needs to find something else to do on these senior moments. We need to scratch the singing.
All right, well, fair enough. I'll tell you what, we'll go from senior moments to this week's Little Men, and this time we visit with new Rangers assistant coach, Eshawn Risen.
One of the staple plays in our pass offense here at Smithson Valley is a concept called Raider, originally named after a play that we got from Texas Tech, thus named Raider. It's a deep ball. No matter who gets the football, we're going to throw it down the field to someone. And to explain the Raider concept today, we have Coach Risen, Coach Eshawn Risen, who helps coach our wide receivers. And Coach, use the little men here and tell our audience what goes on the play that's called Raider.
Play Raider is a deep concept where we're trying to isolate the safety. The good thing about this is typically we do it with a type of action that takes care of the underneath coverage. You get rid of the linebackers, and then you can kind of isolate that one safety on that particular side and make a connection play based on where he goes. He goes one direction and you throw the opposite. So pretty much if you were to take the two receivers, let's say these two receivers on the right, the inside receiver is going to go vertical, and from his vertical stem he will then run what we call a flag route. Okay, and the second receiver, he's going to run vertical, and from his vertical stem, he's going to run a post pattern. Now, as you can see, the deep safety on that particular side, he's going to have to make a choice. If on the vertical stem he decides to run with the inside receiver, and as you can see, that vacates an area, clearing it for the post. And once again, if he makes the opposite read, and for whatever reason, if he gets wide, gets deep, and gets any kind, not necessarily gets deep, but gets deep and stays in the middle, then obviously there's room on the outside for the flag concept. And so taking care of the underneath coverage, that kind of makes it an easy key for the quarterback.
Just reading his hips, going to throw deep to the outside or deep to the inside, trying to make the safety wrong. That's what it looks like in the little men. Now let's go to some game tape and see what it looks like live.
In this situation, we have 3 receivers on the right, and these 3 receivers are going to run the same concept. The number 3, the most inside receiver, is going to run a cross pattern, basically to occupy the safety on the other side of the field. And that gives us the same idea that we had on the little men a second ago, where we have the 2 outside receivers. The most inside of the 2 is going to run the flag concept. The most outside of the 2 is going to run the post concept. And as you can see, we'll have some type of an action that will basically occupy the underneath coverage, which would, once again, isolate what we want. In this view, you can basically see how the action that we have in the backfield forces those linebackers to step up. Well, that ensures that we're going to be able to get an isolation on the safety. And we'll get a better view of what that looks like on the very next clip. We can kind of see from the quarterback's perspective what he's actually seeing. As the quarterback approaches the line, he's able to identify the safety that he wants to look at, the one that he's going to isolate. Now, this safety isn't 100% sure that that's why he's looking at him, but as you can see, the quarterback is identifying who he wants, and from there, everything else, the action in the backfield, is going to take care of the underneath coverage. The receiver, that's the third receiver, is going to isolate and take away the second safety, and from there, right now, that safety's gone. So the area that's clear, the area that we want to throw the ball in, that's where he's going to place it. Here's another situation where you once again get the isolation on the safety. Okay, that's the guy that we're looking at. We identify him pre-snap. As the play progresses, the underneath coverage leaves. Safety makes the wrong choice, and we get exactly what we want. Now, from the end zone, once again, we get a chance to look at it from the quarterback's perspective. And the quarterback is just looking at that safety. If he's getting width and we're not, if all he's doing is backpedaling, then he's giving us grass. There's the man that we want to isolate. We're just checking him out. As he's getting depth, no width, we have grass outside. That's where the ball's going.
The Raider giving us some big plays through the years. So thank you, Coach Risen, for showing our audience what that's all about. And now let's go to Ranger Trivia.
This week in Rangers Trivia, Smithson Valley is on the road this Thursday to face Pflugerville-Hendrickson, a team the Rangers beat in dramatic fashion last year, scoring on their final offensive play of the game to beat the Hawks 24-20. Which Rangers scored the game-winning touchdown? Was the answer A, Trevon Merrick-Woodard, B, Mason Pierce, or C, Ricky Rios? The answer is C, Ricky Rios. Rios caught a 27-yard touchdown pass from Levi Williams on 4th down and 9 with 8 seconds left in the game. Smithson Valley looks to make it 2 wins in a row at Pflugerville-Hendrickson this Thursday at 7 o'clock. So again, revisiting that game last year against the Hawks, a wild finish, a Ranger win last year to open up the 2017 season. Coach, what do you remember about that game and specifically that play to win the game?
Well, we were down 10 in the fourth quarter, much like the other night, real frankly. Came all the way back and, of course, had a 4th down with about 10, 15 seconds left from 27 yards out. And the play was actually designed to go elsewhere, and Levi was able to read the safety and stuck it out to Ricky. And as the ball's in the air, everybody's wondering, whoa, why's the ball going there? And just a perfectly thrown ball, great catch by Ricky in the corner, and he snuggled inside the pylon. And game that could have easily gone the other way, but we pulled it out. It was an exciting finish.
And again, the rematch between the Rangers and the Hawks is coming up on Thursday. A game we'll preview coming up next as we have more Inside Rangers football coming up in just a moment.
Let's go. Hurry up. Get the play in.
Okay, here we go. Left retainer. Headgear. No popcorn. Straight teeth.
That's a good call. Headgear? Straight teeth?
Yeah.
Good call. What's going on here? I thought I left you in charge. It was a good call.
It was a great call. It was a really good call.
Okay. Run the play.
Smoky Mo's is great. You can feed a whole bunch of people on a little bit of money. It's perfect for Friday nights.
My boy's a football player and this fills him up. The brisket is awesome.
I like brisket and sweet brisket. I can't say it.
They have the best turkey, brisket, sausage in all of Comal County.
I agree, and the kids love it too.
You're never going to play offensive line for the Rangers eating salad. Come get some beef.
Get your guns up!
Go Rangers! Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. It is now time for what else is happening in Smithson Valley Athletics. And for that, we welcome head volleyball coach Courtney Patton. And coach, looking forward to your team's district opener this Friday against Clemens.
Yeah, we're really excited, Brant. You know, Friday the girls are going to start district with Clemens at Clemens. They've been working really hard during the preseason to kind of get all the kinks worked out, and we're really looking forward to this next phase of our season. We've also got a lot of other sports doing some really good things. The tennis team opened district this past week at San Marcos, where they went 10-0 as a team. This week they're going to travel to Steele and hope for the same success. Our cross-country team had an incredible weekend at the Chaparral Invitational, where the JV girls finished first and the varsity boys finished first, so we're really proud of them. This week the cross-country team is going to travel to the Northeast Invitational and hopefully have the same success there as well. This week, make sure you mark your calendar. On Thursday, we've got football playing at P Field against the Hendrickson Hawks. Are you going to be there, Brant?
Yes, Coach, I will be there on Thursday. Of course, the Smithson Valley takes on Pflugerville-Hendrickson again this Thursday out there in Pflugerville, north of Austin. And, Coach, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get into the preview of that game now. You take on the Hawks here in Week 2 action, a short week against a very good football team. The Hawks come in a record of 1-0. They won their opener over Texas High this past Friday, 56-7, a region finalist from a year ago. 10 starters back from last year's team. Not the easiest early season test for your football team going in.
No, it's not. You know, they were very talented, as talented a team as we played a year ago, including the Westlakes and Judsons and Steeles of the world. And they're at least that good, if not better again. And, you know, they got a number of 3-year starters, very talented football team on defense and on offense, very well coached. Mentioned they played 4 rounds in the playoffs. You know, so we'll have our hands full, and we got a short week. You know, we came off a very emotional, tough loss on a Friday. Got to get ready to take a long road trip and play on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, you know, a few obstacles for us to overcome, but we'll be ready.
You mentioned the 3-year starters. One of them is the quarterback for Pflugerville-Hendrickson, and you look at the offense, and they scored 56 points again in the opener on Friday. How do you go about slowing down this offense when you take the field this Thursday?
Well, it's very difficult to do because they're so multifaceted. You mentioned the quarterback. The running back is very talented, as are the receivers, and they're varied in their approach. You know, they're not just running the football or throwing it, and got good linemen up front. So it's going to take good, solid defense, much like a week ago. Not sure you stone them every play, but you win enough plays to win that series and win enough series to give yourself a chance to win the game.
Again, that quarterback is Blaine Barker, who again, he is a 3-year starter now for Pflugerville-Hendrickson. Very impressive, but maybe more impressive are the players on defense for Hendrickson. You have a couple of players who are Power 5 commits, one to Arkansas, one to Cal, a defensive tackle who measures out at 340 pounds as well. A lot of talent, a lot of size outside of the football. How do you go about moving the ball against them and scoring points?
Well, we'll have to, you know, easier said than done, but we'll have to keep them off balance. We can't just line up and run at them all night, and nor can we just throw the ball over and over and over and pass protect and keep some, particularly those defensive ends, off of you. So, you know, we'll have to keep them off balance. We're going to have to make them play a while. You know, we can't let them go like the other night where we had a number of 3-and-outs, and, you know, you never really get the defense tired when they're just playing 3 plays at a time. So we're going to have to extend some drives, keep them on the field a while, and you know, when we get our opportunities in the red zone, if we get them, we're going to have to come away with points.
And again, this is a Thursday night game on the road, a long road trip to Pflugerville-Hendrickson High School. The field is about an hour, hour and a half away from Smithson Valley. So what are the challenges in playing in a short week and on the road as you get ready for the Hawks?
Well, it's just that. An excellent football team, no matter where you play them. And then you got to travel a couple hours. You got an earlier start, 7 o'clock. One less day with a Thursday game, quality team, you know, a little bit still kind of hot, and particularly with an early game, the heat is a factor. And so, you know, but on the other hand, you just check the boxes during the week. You know, we do our Monday stuff, we do our Tuesday stuff, we do our pregame stuff. You know, you check the boxes and you go out and fire your shots and see if you're hitting your target.
I know your keys to the game don't normally change a whole lot from week to week, but what do you see those being as you take the field against Pflugerville-Hendrickson on Thursday?
Well, I think turnovers is big. You know, we didn't get any takeaways the other night. We turned it over once ourselves, so we came out on the negative there. And we've got to find a way to get some takeaways and then take care of the ball, of course, when we have it. And then explosive plays, runs over 12, passes over 18. Got to get some big chunks. I think the other night we gave up 7 and only created 4. So, you know, those are 2 areas that are crucial. And if if you can win both of those, you got a great chance to win the football game, and that'll be big again this week.
All right, Coach, best of luck against Pflugerville Hendrickson.
Okay. Thank you, Brant.
Again, kickoff is at 7 o'clock this Thursday in Pflugerville. We'll have live coverage for you on the Rangers Network and a video replay coming up later as well on RangersNetwork.com. For head coach Larry Hill, I'm Brant Freeman. Thank you for tuning in to Inside Rangers Football. We'll see you next time.